Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, a Saturday Morning TVLog special. My name is Duel, better known to you as the Big D. And why is this a special? Well, this is going to be a bit different than my usual Saturday Morning TVLogs. Now, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do a very special ranking. I'm going to be ranking 50, yes, 50 cartoons I grew up watching Saturday mornings in the 1980s. Since I'm an 80s kid, I was born in the 80s, I grew up with tons of them. Now for this list, I picked 50 of them. Now a few might be missing. Now, however, I'm excluding, like I mentioned in my announcement vid, I'm excluding shows that aired 5 days a week, so you won't see G.I. Joe, He-Man, She-Ra, Inspector Gadget, Mask, Brave Star, DuckTales. Now, however, you will see some that actually did get started on Saturday mornings before they went to 5 days a week. So, a few of them will be on there, but not a whole lot, though. So, I hope you're ready. So, here we go. Coming in at number 50 is Disney's Wuzzles from 1985. I loved watching this. This was one of Disney's first Saturday morning shows. The other one was The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, but that's a ways on the list, though, from here. Now, Wuzzles, I think this was a very underrated 80s show. I did watch it when it came on CBS. The Wuzzles are these strange creatures. If you've never seen this, try to look this up. I'm not sure if it's on Disney Plus though, but you can see these really funny looking creatures that are combinations of, well, different animals like a bumble lion, rhinoki, hippopotamus, Ellaroo, butter bear, and moosel. Yeah. Very good show. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I have seen it. I did catch it on Toon Disney maybe a few times. It's still good though. But I have to admit, it's pretty funny. Check it out. The Wuzzles is number 50, and number 49 is Fantastic Max from 1988. Now, I watched this on the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera, and I actually caught it, well, in the second season in 1989, but it did get rerun, though. Now, this is another underrated tune. Now, before Rugrats, there was this little infant of a character, and of course, it's about this here baby boy named Maxwell Young, Fantastic Max, as he's known as, goes on all sorts of fun-filled adventures with his alien doll FX and his toy robot AB. Although his mean 5-year-old sister Zoe gets involved in his misadventures as well. And of course, Max is known for his famous catchphrase, "Dirty diapers," whenever something goes wrong. Yeah, that's a kind of a catchy little phrase. I have seen on Cartoon Network as well, and Boomerang. This has never been released on digital or physical media. We hope maybe it will someday. But Fantastic Max is pretty funny. I did like watching that show. So that's number 49, and number 48 is and slight error on the and what have you. The Tom and Jerry Comedy Show from 1980. Now, this is another underrated series. Back after a 2-year absence after their Hanna-Barbera series ended in 1978, Tom and Jerry were back to their old antics, chasing each other. Droopy and several others made a comeback in this series. This, of course, was produced by Filmation, after having a bit of success with the New Adventures of Mighty Mouse and Heckle and Jekyll the previous year. It's not too bad of a show. It does have some funny moments. They reuse all sorts of music you hear in other Filmation shows, plus some new ones. I really say, this show is still funny, though. I think you ought to check out. It's pretty funny. So, the Tom and Jerry Comedy Show is number 48, and number 47 is Hello Kitty's Fairy Tale Theater, another underrated tune from 1987. Now, I watched this first thing on CBS. I mean, Hello Kitty was pretty big at the time. She and some friends, old and new, plus some baddies, appeared in this show, which was originally produced by Deke along with MGM. Please don't sue. I hope all you don't sue me. I'm just trying to show y'all some of these so that way. I'm just showing you a picture shot, not an actual video, because if I did show a vid, I will probably get into trouble. But anyway, each week Hello Kitty and her friends perform various, fun versions of your favorite fairy tales or maybe movies and what have you. And it always starts with Once Upon a Meow. And I managed to relive this a few years ago on Hulu. They had all episodes restored, and I've just found out it's also on the iTunes store. Yeah, you can find that on there. If you've never seen this, if you're a Hello Kitty fanatic, I recommend you check this out. I absolutely do love this show. It's so underrated. I love it. Hello Kitty's Fairy Tale Theater. It's number 47, and number 46 is Ewoks from 1985. Now, this was one of the two Star Wars cartoons that came out, the other being Droids, but I didn't get to watch that a whole lot. That's actually going to be one of my honorable mentions. I will give more later on in part 2. But anyway, yeah, I mostly grew up with Ewoks and I did Droids. Droids is pretty underrated, and so is this, even though this lasted 2 seasons, while the Droids one only lasted 1. I did like watching the adventures of Wicket and all those other lovable furry critters from Star Wars who were introduced to us in Return of the Jedi. And the show was produced by Nelvana and Lucasfilm. Of course, this was their second show to be done to come to television. Of course, the other was the Care Bears, another honorable mention. Sorry to disappoint y'all. I'm probably going to get hate for not including the Care Bears. I was going to, but sorry. Anyway, I do love, watching these little guys. I did catch them a few times on Sci-Fi when I got them, unfortunately before they stopped airing cartoons and what have you. So Ewoks is pretty good and all. It's number 46, and number 45 is Kid Video, another underrated show. Now, this premiered on NBC in 1984. I loved watching this one. I mean, I always liked this. It did start out a little live action, like the intro, and then these 4 ordinary young people who are a band known as Kid Video. He along with his girlfriend Carla and Wiz, who is actually played by Robbie Riz, yes, Cousin Oliver of Brady Bunch fame, and Ash gets sent to the flip side, a mysterious animated world, and they get freed by this little fairy character called Glitter, who helps them on a quest to get back home and escape the flip side after they've been sent there by the ruler of this, the main villain, the Master Blaster, and his fiends, the Copycats, who are always up to something. They are the Master Blaster's minions, and they always try to lip sync songs. There's also licensed music videos, but when I found them on YouTube, they were removed, which I completely understand. However, they did keep a Kid Video music video, which was featured at the end of each episode. This did get rerun on CBS after it was dropped from NBC, and then later went into syndication. But after that, since maybe the early 90s, this show has never been seen again. Not even on physical media. And I would love to see Kid Video on DVD sometime, but I doubt that'll ever happen if they ever got music rights. So anyway, that's number 45, and number 44 is Saturday Supercade from 1983. I have seen this a little bit, and I didn't catch did see a little bit of it on YouTube. Now, this is actually the second cartoon to be featuring video game characters after the success of Pac-Man, which you'll see that in this later on here in the second half. Now, I think this is pretty underrated. It was produced by Ruby Spears, being the first from that studio to come on CBS. This would probably a very busy year for that studio, but anyway. Yeah, Saturday Supercade featured all sorts of great video game characters, most notably Donkey Kong and Q*bert, who of course appeared for both seasons. Of course, the first season had Donkey Kong Jr., Frogger, and Pitfall. But those three were dropped, and when the second season came, they got Kangaroo and Space Ace, which was the only segment that would ever get rerun after the show's cancellation. Now, the Q*bert tune did, however, get released on DVD after the character appeared in the Adam Sandler movie Pixels. Now, I really wish they could make an agreement and stuff like that to get this show restored back for our viewing pleasures one day, but I don't know. But Saturday Supercade, pretty underrated, but I think it's a pretty good show. It's number 44, and number 43 is Wildfire from 1986. Another underrated show. Now, this is easily probably one of the most forgotten tunes from the vault of Hanna-Barbera, in my opinion. Now, I never did get to see this. It came on CBS, but unfortunately, it came on at the same time the Gummy Bears did on NBC, yeah. But anyway, I did catch this on YouTube, though. I got to see all 13 episodes. It did get rerun on Cartoon Network since it debuted, but after that, it was never seen again, not even on Boomerang. But anyway, I give anything for this show to come to DVD. This show needs to be on DVD. This is a very good show. I really do love it. Princess Sarah and Wildfire, absolutely really great. If I'm not mistaken, give me a second. Oh, yes. Wildfire was actually voiced by, well, the title character was voiced by the legendary John Vernon. Yes, you heard me correctly. Yes, and the actors appeared in lots of TV shows and movies. Yeah, and let's see, and of course, Lady Diabolin, that's the villainess of the show, yeah. Pretty good, actually, but anyway, you can try, lots of luck in finding Wildfire somewhere. You can find it on some cartoon sites, but like I said, lots of luck in finding that, but I think it's a very underrated show, but very good, though. I think it's fun and what have you. So that's number 43, and number 42 is Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, also underrated. Now, this was from Deke, along with WWF, well, later WWE. Well, please don't sue me, okay? I'm just trying to show a picture off, okay? And nothing else. Anyway, this came on CBS in 1985. And I think it's pretty good. We do get to see the real live-action Hulk Hogan and other familiar characters. Unfortunately, they're voiced by different voice actors. Brad Garrett, in one of his earliest animated roles, voices the title character. He's got Andre the Giant, Captain Lou Albano, and Junkyard Dog, many others, including... There's also anime versions of Rowdy Roddy Piper, who's a bad guy, and Mean Gene, the announcer. Yeah. It's pretty funny, you know. I caught a few episodes on YouTube. I'm not sure if there's some on there. There might be, as long as they aren't blocked by WWE. If you are a fan of Hulk Hogan, or if you're a fan of wrestling, I only watch this because I did like Hulk and what have you. He's pretty cool and all. So anyway, I think you should give it a try. It's pretty funny. It's not really one of the best, but it's fun though. So Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling is 42, and number 41 is Camp Candy from 1989. Now, I loved watching this. I mean, I was into John Candy at the time. I mean, he's in this animated series as himself. He runs this here camp, and he's got all these great kids here. Yeah, there's Rick and Iggy and his kid brother Blinky, and of course we have let's see, Alex, Robin, and Vanessa. Of course, we have Nurse Molly, who absolutely loves John. Of course, we have the bad guy, Rex the Forest the Third, and his goon Chester, who's always trying to shut down the camp. I think this would kind of be sort of a show that would come after the success of Ernest Goes to Camp. But hey, that's just in my opinion. But I absolutely loved this show. I mean, it ran for a couple seasons. It was pretty good. Produced by Deke and Saban. Of course, that being their second show team together, I'm pretty sure, after Kid Vio. I forgot to bring that up. My apologies. But I think this is another underrated tune. This hasn't been seen since Fox Family aired this back in the late 90s. But I think this show's worth looking into. If you can ever find this, and if you're a fan of John Candy, check it out. Anyway, that's Camp Candy. That's number 41, and number 40 is Kissy Fur from 1986. Very underrated tune. It was produced by Deke and NBC Productions. Of course, NBC aired this show. It originally started on 1986. It had some specials as well, but then it was dropped, but then it returned in 1988 for some new episodes. Of course, this is about Bear Cub and his dad. They were circus performers, but then soon they escaped captivity in order to live a better life in the forest when the train they're riding gets derailed. And soon they find a good home and make new friends and what have you. I mean, I like Kissy Fur, his friends Toots, the squirrel, and Beehive. That's a little bunny rabbit with a flower. Yeah. I absolutely loved watching Kissy Fur as a kid. I think this is another forgotten tune. If you ever find this, check it out. This has been on physical media, but only on videotapes. But I think it's pretty cute and all. So, Kissy Fur's number 40, and number 39 is the Fonz and the Happy Days game from 1980. Now, this came out as Happy Days was now in its 8th season. Henry Winkler, of course, returns to voice the title character. Of course, Ron Howard and Richie Cunningham, and Donnie Moss as Ralph Malph. Despite those characters were no longer on that show, actually joined them for this animated series, where they, along with a new character, Mr. Cool, Fonzie's dog, voiced by Frank Welker. Well, they meet a future chick named Cupcake, who has this here time machine. Once Fonz does his moves to it, soon they get zapped into the time machine and are traveling through time. I think this show's very underrated. I've seen all the episodes. They're pretty funny. Unfortunately, like some shows, we don't know how they get back to Milwaukee, 1957 Milwaukee. But anyway, this show recently got released on physical media on DVD last year. So if you're a Happy Days fanatic, or if you're a Hanna-Barbera fanatic who produced this along with Paramount, I'd say give it a try. Dee Conn, of course, you know her as Frenchie from Grease, and also she was later on TV's Benson, and Shining Time Station as Stacy Jones, voices Cupcake. Very good job. And she's kind of mischievous, though, because her spells kind of always backfire, like Orko's did on He-Man later on. But anyway, it's pretty good. Check out the Fonz and the Happy Days game. You might like it. And next up at number 38 is Alf, another TV spinoff. After the success of the show the previous year in 1986, in 1987, well, the character named Alf, whose real name was Gordon Shumway, got his own Saturday morning show. We get to see him on his glory days on his home planet Melmac before it exploded and he ended up in the Tanner household. I think this is sort of a little underrated, but I have kind of seen related a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's fun and all. It was produced by Deacon Saban, of course, NBC, who aired the live-action counterpart, aired it. So, I think this is pretty funny. It did spin off Alf Tales, which that's an honorable mention. Yeah, it's where Alf and his Melmacian friends and family take on all sorts of fairy tales, just like Hello Kitty did. Yeah, but that was but however, theirs was more close to Jay Ward's Fractured Fairy Tales, actually. But Alf's animated series is pretty good and all. I think you ought to give that a try if you're a fan of the TV show. So Alf's number 40, no, 38, my apologies. And number 37 is Pound Puppies from 1986. This aired on ABC. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera after they did an actual version for Pound Puppies that would be featured in books and what have you. But anyway, this kind of took a different turn. We get to see some of these that I've seen. Most notably, they're Lair Cooler. Of course, we have Nosemarie, Whopper, Bright Eyes, and Howler. Yeah, we get to see them in some fun, getting themselves into some fun antics and what have you. And they're friends with Holly, the little girl who works for the Pound. But these two mean people that live in a house not too far away. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty fun and all. I think it's a good show. I have seen all the episodes, including, well, the underrated all-new Pound Puppies, which is good, but not quite as good as the first season, though. But it doesn't extreme best. But anyway, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's fun. So, Pound Puppies is pretty cute. It's number 37, and number 36 is Paw Paws from 1985. Now, this was one of the first shows to be aired on the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera when it premiered in 1985. I think this is a pretty underrated tune. Now, it recently got released on DVD last year. I haven't rewatched this, but, well, I like it a little bit, but not a whole lot. I know a lot of people have dissed this show and what have you, because of these little bears being, well, with a Native American feel and what have you. I completely do understand, but I think Paw Paws is, well, not bad. I think it's pretty cute and all. I mean, I like Princess Paw Paw and all the other little critters. So anyway, I think this should be one show y'all look into. It's not too bad and what have you. Let's see. Yeah, we got Brave Paw, Mighty Paw, Laughing Paw, and of course, let's see, we got of course we have Dark Paw, the meanest one of them all, the Minos. Yeah, the main antagonist. Yeah, pretty underrated show Paw Paws is. I think y'all give it a try if you want to. But you don't have to take my word for it. So, Paw Paws is number 36, and number 35 is Dragon's Lair from 1984. Produced by Ruby Spears, same company that did Saturday Supercade, which was still on at the time. Now, this is, of course, based on that other movie game combination that Don Bluth did. Of course, the other was Space Ace. Now, this is sort of kind of follows this, but it has some of the characters we all know. We have Dirk the Daring, Princess Daphne, and Since the Dragon. But unfortunately, he was only in like 4 episodes of this 13-episode series. But even so, I think Dragon's Lair is a bit underrated. It is on DVD. You might want to check it out. I do like it. I did catch it in reruns on USA and on Boomerang since Cartoon Network didn't air it much. But anyway, I think that's a good show. I think you all look into that if you remember Dragon's Lair. Oh yeah, and I do like how the narrator, well, asks what would you do if you were Dirk to help him get through a situation and what have you. And just before we fail to and go into the second act of the cartoon, and then we show what would have happened and what have you. You'll see what I mean when you see it, okay? So anyway, Dragon's Lair is number 35, and number 34 is Teen Wolf from 1986. Now, this was produced by Hanna-Barbera Australia's subsidiary Southern Star, premiering on CBS after the success of the movie with Michael J. Fox. Now, this, of course, we have more fun misadventures with Scott, who was voiced by Townsend Coleman before he even did Michelangelo on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the following year. Now, it ran for 2 seasons. Now, Clubhouse Pictures co-produced the first season, and Atlantic Kushner Law co-produced the second season. Now, of course, we follow Scott Howard, who sometimes wolves out and turns into his werewolf form. We got some of the characters back. Booth and Styles, who was voiced by Donnie Most, who played Ralph on Happy Days. And let's see, Scott's dad, who's once again played by the same guy, who's voiced by the same guy who did him in the actual movie, as a matter of fact, James Hampton. We also have Grandma and Grandpa Howard. We do see him in voice, but not a whole lot. Grandma Howard's actually voiced by June Foray. We also have their young daughter Loopy, but unfortunately she don't have no werewolf form. But anyway, yeah. I really think this show is very funny. I've seen it. I've relived it a few times on YouTube, and it's pretty funny. If you remember Teen Wolf, but if you don't like the recent MTV series, try and get over that and watch the Teen Wolf cartoon. If you like the movie, you will love this show. It's pretty funny. I think you'll like it. So anyway, that's number 34. Sorry, I have to look back at my list because I usually forget where I am. So Teen Wolf's number 34, and number 33 is Punky Brewster from 1985. Although it was promoted as It's Punky Brewster, it came out after the success of the TV show on NBC. It co-produced that along with Ruby Spears, who produced this. Now we have Soleil Moon Frye back as the title character, along with George Gaines as Henry Wormont, Cherry Johnson as Cherry, Casey Ellison as Alan, and Amy Foster as Margot. And of course, we have Brandon back in this as well. But we have a new addition, a little mischievous little critter named Glummer, who gets out from his home world of Shandun. Yeah. So now he's an orphan, just like Punky was until she was adopted by Henry. Anyway, I really do think this is pretty good. It's very underrated, though. I do have all those episodes on the Punky Brewster TV series, but unfortunately one didn't get included because of a music issue. Now, I've read that the show will actually come to streaming on NBC's new Peacock streaming service coming soon, along with the actual live-action counterpart to this. So if you remember Punky Brewster, but you never saw this, check it out. I actually did watch this, but unfortunately I never saw the original live-action series, so until years later. But anyway, Punky Brewster, it's number 33, and number 32 is The Dukes from 1983. Now, this, of course, is the animated spin-off of The Dukes of Hazzard. Now, of course, that picture I showed was for the second season. They first started out with Coy and Vance, the other Duke boys, who only lasted for most of the fifth season. But then, of course, the real Duke boys, Bo and Luke, were brought back. Now, each week, those two, along with Cousin Daisy, raced Old Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane all around the world. Now, Uncle Jesse appears to read letters that are sent by Daisy or one of the Duke boys. And we also have Flash in this, and, well, unfortunately, we don't get to see Enos or Cleus, though, unfortunately, sorry. And there's also a raccoon that's with Uncle Jesse named Smokey, who's absolutely funny, too. I've seen every episode of it. It is on physical media. If you're a Dukes of Hazzard fanatic, you should check it out. I mean, while Coy and Vance did 13 of the 20 episodes, Bo and Luke only did 7. Oh well, but it's still worth looking into. It's pretty good. It's from Hanna-Barbera. So, I think the Dukes is pretty funny and all. They have to do what they can to win the prize money so Boss Hog doesn't put the foreclosure on the Duke's farm. But of course, naturally, old Boss wants the money all to himself, too. And he'll do it by whatever he can. Anyway, it's pretty funny. It has the same voiced by the same actors who played them on the actual Dukes of Hazzard series. So, the Dukes is number 32, and number 31 is... Beetlejuice from 1989. This was produced by Nelvana along with the Geffen Company, who produced the movie. After the success of the movie in 1988, Beetlejuice got his own Saturday morning show. Loved watching Beetlejuice in action, and he and Lydia are much more different than what they are in the movie. But I think it's absolutely hysterical. Gets the near world, very funny. I mean, I love when Beetlejuice is afraid of those sandworms and what have you. And we get to see the Deetses. We get to see all sorts of other characters like Leah's friends, Prudence and Bertha. Yeah, that's him. And of course, there's always got to be a snobby character. Claire Brewster is always up to no good. Oh boy, I think Beetlejuice is absolutely funny, especially when he tries to eat a beetle or what have you. It's funny, and I like a lot of the characters on the show. Jacques and the skeleton and let's see, Ginger, the tap dancing spire. Let's see. Hang on a second, folks. Oh yeah, the monster across the street that looks like Gossamer from Bugs Bunny cartoons. Yeah, those are all pretty fun characters. I think Beetlejuice is absolutely funny. I watch it sometimes, maybe during the Halloween season, so it's pretty funny. Beetlejuice, if you haven't seen it, watch it. I did do a Saturday Morning TVLog of it, so enough said. It's number 31, and number 30 is... Faux Fur from 1986. Very underrated tune. I think it's pretty funny. It's, of course, produced by Hanna-Barbera, along with Sep International, who, of course, recently did The Smurfs. And I do believe they worked on the Snorks, too, which, unfortunately, that didn't make the list, so that's another honorable mention. Actually, it was created by Phil Mendez, who, of course, also did animated Kissy Fur. Now, of course, Faux Fur, of course, is this blue hound dog. Bloodhound, actually. He's taking refuge in a mansion, which is also his birthplace. Got his niece Rocky in this. We got Lewis, a bulldog, Annabelle, sheepdog, and Lewis's girlfriend, Hazel, Cocker Spaniel, and wife to Fritz Carlos, this miniature schnauzer, and then there's Fencer, the cat. Yeah. They do their best to hang around and they do have to get out of there in order to avoid being contacted by Miss Escrow, who, let me see, yeah, a woman who has tried many times to sell the mansion, but Faux Fur and his friends keep the house from being bought. I really do I loved watching this when it came on NBC. Faux Fur is very funny. If you've never seen it, find it. However, I did find this, but unfortunately they had different intro themes instead of the one I remember from the NBC era. Oh well. But Faux Fur, I think you ought to check out. It's pretty funny. It's number 30, and number 29 is... Superman from 1988. Now, this is probably another forgotten tune of the 80s. Now, this came on CBS to coincide with Superman's 50th anniversary. I do have the show on DVD, and I gotta say, this is a very underrated and rarely remembered show. Of course, we have Superman take out all sorts of bad guys. Well, not quite too old. Only Lex Luthor has been seen. The Prankster's been seen one time, but not too many others, though. Oh yeah, I do believe General Zod was in one episode too. But I did like it for certain reasons, and it did have a great, well, sounding version of the Superman theme from the movies. And William Woodson, who did the narration for all our Super Friends series, except for the original series, does the intro narration. Each episode has one full adventure, and it finishes with the Superman Family album, which has, well, focuses on young Kal-El, who soon becomes Clark Kent, foster son to Martha and Jonathan Kent, growing up in Smallville. Pretty good, though. If you've never seen this, if you're a Superman fan and never recall this series, check it out. I do like this. So Superman's 29, and number 28 is the Flintstone Kids. Now, I'm sorry this is kind of low, but I have some respect for this show. I mean, we get, after Muppet Babies was a success, you'll see where that ends up in the second half of this ranking. But this premiered on ABC in 1985, which of course, that was 25 years after the original series premiered on that network. It's not too bad. We see kid versions of Fred, Barney, Wilma, and Betty, and all sorts of other characters and what have you. They're all pretty good. We got some, well, various Flintstone Kids episodes, plus Neil's Dilemma, seeing a young Neil Edge, and of course, Captain Caveman's son. Very funny. Bringing back Captain Caveman, of course, who was introduced in 1977 in Captain Caveman, the Teenagers, and as well as Laugh Olympics. And then, of course, he had his own solo series in the Flintstone Comedy Show, which you will also see that later on in the second half of this ranking. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I haven't watched it in some time. I have caught in reruns sometimes on Cartoon Network and Boomerang as well. So, if you are a Flintstones fanatic, you should check it out. It's pretty good. The Flintstone Kids, that's number 28, and number 27 is The Biscuits from 1983. Now, this is another underrated and probably rare cartoon, probably forgotten a whole lot, from Hanna-Barbera. And I do have down DVD. Now, this premiered on CBS, and, excuse me. Now, of course, we visit, Biscuit Castle, a tiny castle in the swamps, and it's home to the smallest dogs in the world, the Biscuits. And this came after the success of other little career cartoons that Hanna-Barbera had already done, like the Smurfs and Shark Tales, which, of course, will also be seen in the second half of this ranking, as well as the Munchie-Cheese, which premiered the same year this did, which also serves as an honorable mention. Of course, we have all sorts of these little characters: Wags, Sweets, Shiner, Lady, Bump Downer, Wiggles, Spinner, Scat, and Mooch. Plus lots of others. Now, these little dogs have been entrusted by kings from long ago to shine up their treasures, which they keep underneath their castle. But however, far away in an old castle is the villain of this, the cruel yet wasteful King Max, and his sidekick and court jester Shecky, and of course their two hound dogs, Fang and Snarl. Yeah. But they also, and there's another enemy, Scratch, a wildcat who will do anything to get those biscuits. I think this is an underrated tune. Like I said, don't mind me sound like a broken record, but I think the Biscuits is worth looking into. If you're into Smurfs or what have you, I think you should give the Biscuits one try. I know this probably didn't get as much like, but I liked it. I did catch it on USA, but it was never seen again. It was never shown on Cartoon Network or Boomerang, but I'm glad we finally got it a few years ago on DVD. The Biscuits is pretty cute and what have you. I think you should check it out. That's number 27, and number 26 is The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Now, although the show originally got started on Disney Channel, but I'm going to consider this a Saturday morning show because I grew up watching this Saturday mornings on ABC. Of course, we have our lovable favorite honey loving bear from the 100-Acre Wood, and Christopher Robin and all their friends, Rabbit, Gopher, Owl, let's see, Kangaroo, Eeyore, and don't forget Tigger, who of course was voiced by his original voice actor Paul Winchell, but then soon he quit, and Jim Cummings, who was voicing Pooh at the time, did his voice for the rest of the series run. I think this is a pretty good show. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I think it's worth looking into. I think it's on Disney Plus, but I may be wrong though. But I think The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is worth looking into. It's fun. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Piglet, duh! How can we not have Winnie the Pooh without Piglet? Duh! Sorry, everyone. Yeah, you'll see all the characters from the 100-Acre Wood in this great animated series. Really good and all. But anyway, I think you'll like that. And that's going to do it for the first part of my 50 favorite Saturday morning cartoons. Stay tuned, I'll have the second half lined up. So what did you think of this half? Please tell me what some of your favorite cartoons are from this part in the comments if you've heard of these. Like and subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me again later on when I do the second half, when I rank 25 to 1. Thank you for watching. Now, if you liked what you saw, you can check out my previous 2 Saturday morning TV logs. In the upper left-hand corner is my Saturday morning TV log of what might not have been an animated series, but it's still one of the underrated ones, Hey Vern, It's Ernest. And in the upper right-hand corner is my recent Saturday morning TV log from a week ago on the underrated 60s Saturday morning tune, Cool McCool. And the bottom right-hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe to my channel and experience more with more of the Big D. Thanks again for watching. Until next time on the Big D saying, see ya.